Underworld, make some noise! Every project's got to start with some masala chai. You can take the boy out of India, but you can't take India out of the boy. Smells good, right?
Very nice.
There you go. Let the people know, man. You can't smell on these cameras. Let the people know how good my tea is. Studio. This is where the magic happens. Alright, the Gujarati EP. I think it all started with Kemcho. So Kemcho was a record that I had in mind. It was something that I wanted to release for my people. You know, I'm Gujarati, and I've grown up a lot around Gujarati music. Mom and dad would play garbas, and they'd play bhajans, and they'd play, you know, a lot of that around the house growing up in Australia. So I wanted to do something for my people because I felt like Punjabi music is so well represented that I wanted something for us. So I put Kemcho together, and at the time I was speaking to a lot of record labels out in Mumbai, and I played them the song, and they're there. You know, they're vibing to it, they're bopping to it. You know, they were digging the record. And when it finished, they were like, "Yeah, no, we shouldn't do this." And I said, "Why? You don't like the song? What's the problem with the record? You know, do we need to switch it up, or do you want changes, or what's the problem with the song?" They said, No. They said, "The thing is, you look Punjabi, and Punjab is the cool of India. So don't make it obvious that you are a Gujarati, and just try and blend in with what's going on at the moment. It's all about Punjab, it's all about..." But I said, "But I'm not though. I'm not Punjabi, I'm Gujarati." And that's who I'm proud of, where I come from. In Kemcho, I did the rap verses in Hindi because the labels were so against me doing the Gujarati stuff. So this time I decided, all right, let me put together 3 super dope, super fresh new records where I take folk derived melodies and garbas, some of my favorite garbas, and switch them up and do something really different with really different concepts. And this time I wanted to rap purely in Gujarati. Potari, kyanti tu avi to avi te agel gadi, nasho taro mare, ani gargari, help make mari, get your body daddy. That's how it's done, baby. One take. So obviously, when you put together an EP like this, you know, you have to turn to your team. You know, you're only as strong as your team is. So once I'd composed the songs, once I came up with the concepts around the songs, the next obvious step was to work on the rest of the lyrics. So there's a lyricist called Karthik Patel, based out of Australia, who wrote this amazing song that did phenomenally well and went viral, called Char Bangli Wadi Gadi. And I just knew from that song, Char Bangli Wadi Gadi means 4 bangle type car. And obviously that's talking about an Audi. Just from the concept and the way that he'd weaved the words in and made it so modern, it was a fresh, you know, his own fresh composition. I just knew he was the perfect person to bring my ideas to life. I wanted to call the song Gujarati Nasha. Alright? Now, obviously,
nice.
There's no Nasha in Gujarat. Right?
Nasha in Gujarat. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, right.
Already sounds interesting.
Okay, so basically the concept is that, okay, we've got no Nasha in Gujarat, but you know what? We all trip, we all get high off of our girls. I had heard the song Hove Hove, which was a beautiful song, and I didn't... Actually, honestly, I don't even know exactly what Hove Hove means, but I definitely know what Hove means, like Havesu, like the most common Gujarati phrase that goes for everything. So what I wanted to do was have a concept of a guy saying to a girl that all those things that you want, all those wishes that you have, I can fulfill all of them. So where do we go from here? What next? What next is the concept of the song. And then on the second verse, I wanted to say to the girl that, you know, tell your dad, do not give me those big eyes, those doras, don't give me that. What would the female say back?
Yeah, so I think female is still playing a hard game. Why fare mari, you know, in the Gujarati, they say mari why fare je, puchadani jem, something like that. Yeah.
Growing up, when my sister was in the kitchen, we had a very small house to begin with in Australia. And every time mum was cooking in the kitchen, and I used to get around the kitchen, or my sister used to move around the kitchen, she used to say that. Like, why are you following me, Puchadani Jam? You know what I mean? But she would say that all the time. So like, these ideas that you've got are so brilliant because it just connects straight away with to my knowledge of what will, you know, work with the masses. So with the lyrics for the 3 records done, how I normally work is I compose to just chords and a basic drum pattern. And then what I do is I work with producers to bring out my ideas. So I work with Saurabh Lokhande. Shout out Saurabh, aka Chef SoLow. Me and him got together on these records, you know, working remotely online, with me being in London and him being in Mumbai. And we just, on the first session we worked for the first, we had like a 4-hour session. And I remember in the 4-hour session, I just wanted to skip past the songs, because I clearly, on Ke Have Have, I had a clap pattern. I knew that I wanted it to have a dance hall kind of feel to it, with just like a do 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 but boo do do but. So I had the bass line, and I knew that I had this clap pattern, which was like based off of Garba, which was. We got on the phone and we worked on that record. Within 10 minutes, we had it cracked. Next thing we worked on Achiko Machiko. And I knew that was going to be the most sensual record. You know, the fact that I'm saying to the girl, you know, why Navratri? Why 9 nights when we can make it 999? I thought that maybe it would be really interesting to take it towards an Arabic direction. Then we got onto Gujarati Nasha. So Saurabh came up with this flute riff. He wanted it to have a flute kind of flex to it. And it was cool. I liked it, but somehow it wasn't hitting the spot like the other 2 records were. So within a 4-hour session, we had basically Ke Have Have, which was locked. We had Achiko Machiko, which was locked. And we have Gujarati Nasha as a riff that Saurabh loves. And I'm like iffy on. We spent 2 more sessions. We spent another 10, 12 hours trying to find a better drop. And Saurabh was getting a little annoyed, like he does with me. And then he came up, he said, let me try something. I don't know if this is gonna work. And he just chopped up the original riff that we had. So all he did was just make it go. Just that tiny change just made me feel like, boom, that's it, we got it. So we got this audio all ready, all done. Vincent jumped on the mixing, made it all sound big, made it all sound clean. The thing I love about Vincent when it comes to mixing is he's able to achieve this cinematic hip-hop sound, where hip-hop typically is, you know, American hip-hop, especially if you listen to it, it's quite narrow. But what I love doing is, because I'm a fan of Indian music and of Bollywood music and of cinema music, I like that cinematic grandeur to it in terms of stereo imaging, in terms of depth. And Vincent's just amazing at being able to make the song sound really wide and sound really big.